A lot of the students are entering medical college this year with high hopes and expectations, and a lot of the seniors are leaving medical college with a lot of experience and with a lot of knowledge. And personally, I'm stuck somewhere in between of this journey called as MBBS. So in this video, I'll be sharing top 5 of my best moments in medical college as well as 5 of the worst experiences I've ever had in my medical college. But hey, if you didn't know me, hi, my name is Anuj Pachhel. I'm a final-year MBBS student at GMC Nagpur, and I secured an all-India rank of 885 in NEET 2018. Subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get on to the video. So in second year MBBS, I was stuck in lockdown. That was the time that I had started my YouTube channel. I was really nervous about what I'm doing online, what I'm doing in my real life. How do I keep everything balanced? I had no idea what work-life balance at that time was. I also launched my app during that point. Did a lot of crazy activities. Because of all of that, my studies suffered quite a bit. Literally had to take 2 months off just for the development of my own app during my MBBS period. In between, the college was completely locked down. I did not have any practical experience whatsoever. All that knowledge that I had was just from Marrow videos and just reading books sometimes. So yeah, that was basically my preparation level in second year MBBS. And guess what? 1 week before the exams, I was also chilling out, really not that much worried. During the exams, I studied a lot, but I also had to work in between. But finally, when my practicals were over, everything was done. When the results came, I was actually standing second in my entire college, which was a really big moment for me. I scored like 80 something percent in second year, which was a huge deal for me, because in MBBS, I personally feel like if you have scored even above 65%, you are an absolute genius. You know, in some universities, even passing is extremely difficult. So whenever in MBBS you ask to any person, any friend of yours, whenever you ask them, तुम्हारा result अगर pass है तो तुम्हें क्या खुशी मिलती है, you will get a huge array of answers, absolutely positive in every sense. And especially the thing is that it all worked out in the end. All the hard work behind the channel, all the hard work behind my studies, it all paid off, and that is the best feeling ever. The next experience actually happened to be before lockdown, and this was when I was posted in the Obs and Gynae unit for the first time. At that time, I did not at all read the subject because I was just a second year student who did not know anything about anything. But we were given this posting of operation theatre, and in the operation theatre you just go ahead and you see what are all the surgical procedures being done in the obstetrics and gynecology department. One of the procedures, which is very common, done every day, is called as a cesarean section. So yes, the first time watching a cesarean section from incision to delivery of the baby to closing of the incision, the first time that I ever watched that was in 2019. That was one of the most special moments of my entire MBBS life. I think that every doctor who is watching this, who has experienced the first time whenever they see the birth of a new life, that is something extremely positive. That is something very happy. As you can see, my face is continuously being lit up by all the memories. And it was also conveniently the very first posting in which I had to wear my scrubs. So I clicked a lot of photographs. You know, in second year MBBS, it was such a big deal for me that I got to see this, and I'm really happy that I did. As you gradually progress through your med school year, finally you're going to see this every day in Obs and Gynae posting. You will see a person in labor, you'll see a person who is underwent C-section, a person who is recovering, so ANC, PNC, all types of patients. So it becomes an absolutely normal thing when you're in final year. But once you're in second year, the first time you enter a OT and see the baby being delivered out, that is one of the best feelings you get as a med student. Later in internship, you also get to practice. The senior residents and the doctors who are present in that unit also make you assist deliveries and take out babies. It becomes very normal in the end, but in the starting part, it was gajab tha. The next point, the point number 3, is something which will be controversial, but it is something which I personally love. Exam season. The exam season of MBBS is the exam season like no other course in the world. You can just go on reading volumes and volumes of books. Still, you wouldn't be able to finish the entire syllabus. You won't be able to finish the number of questions they are going to be asking. 2 to 3 weeks before our university exam comes, every person is just sitting down at least 10 to 12 hours a day minimum, and they are studying continuously for at least 3 weeks. And they try to cover maximum syllabus in just this short span of like 20-25 days, and they actually end up covering a lot of it. Why do I really like this exam season? Like I said, in second year MBBS also I documented my entire exam series. In third year also I did that. You can check out my exam saga series link down below later on. But the thing is that exam also teaches us how to manage our time efficiently. What should we skip, what should we not skip, brings us closer to our friends, which is the reason why I actually love it, because I get to interact on an academic level with all of my friends. We share MCQs, we teach each other stuff which we are good at, learn the questions which are difficult, and try to find out a strategy to beat the exam as a collective enemy, not just as a single person. Look back upon after you have given the exam and you feel like तुमने बहुत मेहनत की, and you feel genuinely very happy. And the exam season is very close upon me because my prelims are next month, and you can expect an exam saga vlog from that. Alright, so 3 positive incidences. Now let me tell you something a bit darker, something which I generally did not like one bit, and that was facing a toxic senior. So the incidents goes like this. I was a very normal kid. I did not have a YouTube channel. So this was back in second year. I was just talking with a junior one day, and we were just talking something about studies. We were actually talking about anatomy and how to study anatomy. And for some reason, there was a senior who was walking by and he heard something, which he did not like. So the senior goes to the hostel, tells everybody in my batch and their senior batch that there was this guy who was saying about us and about all the college and everything to this junior, which I obviously was not. And he just started this rumor. For that, what happened was that my very own batchmates came to me, like 15-16 of them. वो आए मेरे बाजू में. They made a complete circle around me and they started to, they were almost at the point of beating me, my own very batchmate. So that happened because of a stupid rumor which a stupid senior he had spread. And I never really understood why these people are doing that. Later down the line, one of the persons who was involved in that became my friend, and finally told me कि ऐसा हुआ था. There is another very good friend of mine and did the same exact thing to him, even threatening him to say that we'll kill you, we'll break your legs, we'll take you to the casualty and make it look like it was an accident. So all of that because of a rumor. So what has happened is that, so the thing is that when you are young, you don't really have that much brain power. So sometimes you get influenced by the wrong people. You believe in the things which you are just directly told without actually questioning your moral sense of being. So whenever you come across a rumor, come across something in college, just think twice before believing it directly, because it may or may not be true. So yeah, it was a pretty bad experience, but I'm really happy that at this point I can share all of this with you guys so that you guys could learn from it and do something about it. ये सब होता रहता है. Every person in college goes through some sort of things like this, and it's perfectly okay. The thing is, don't lose this. This is the most important thing. Don't do the same thing with your juniors. So yeah, that's about it. Editing Anuj here. So also, किसी से डरना नहीं. Don't be afraid of anybody. Speak out if you feel that something is wrong. And of course, never ever be afraid of anybody. Just, yeah, this is something which you all should consider. काफी सीरियस बात होगी, right? Dial the tone of this video back to the positive one. The good experiences, the first time that you actually feel like you're a doctor. It does not happen in first year at all. It happens when you are in second year. You go to your clinical posting and you feel, and you actually see the patients, you actually get to feel like you're a doctor. But it happens most when you're posted through the PSM department into the rural postings or into the UHTC or the peripheral centers of your own city. So in these postings, you go to some of the rural areas with your batchmates. You just go ahead from home to home and doing the public service of taking everybody's blood pressure, finding out whether there are some medical illnesses present. If there are some pregnant ladies in the area, you get to talk to them, take their history and see if they are doing good on their diet, if they are taking good care of them. There is a child, you see if there is undernutrition or there is malnourishment or something like that. And that is when you first feel like you are an actual doctor. तुम्हें ऐसा लगता है, wow, मैं बहुत सही चीज कर रहा हूँ मेरी लाइफ में. You also make a lot of new friends during these postings, and it is probably one of the very fun experiences I've had during my medical college life. You also get to learn a lot of hospitality from the people who welcome you inside their house and ask you basic questions on medical field. Stuff like, will eating this increase my blood sugar? Will doing this increase my hypertension? Or is this good for the baby? Is it good for me? You, with your basic rudimentary knowledge of micropharma, path them with whatever you have understood from different books. And that is when you actually feel like you have become a doctor, but actually you don't know anything. You have never done a single procedure in your life, but you do feel like a doctor. That's the best feeling in the world. By the way, if you're a NEET aspirant watching this video and dreaming of becoming a doctor one day, this thing which is kept right here on my shelf will really help you a lot. This is Oswal's 15 mock test papers textbook, and this textbook contains exactly what it says, 15 mock test papers for NEET. It contains physics, chemistry and biology, and it's also got OMR sheet within it, so you can mark out everything. There are two best features about this book that I really like. First is mnemonics, so this will help you memorize a lot of things in a very short amount of time. Second is mind maps. You can just revise an entire chapter all by yourself without spending much time on it. Another thing is that Oswal gives you trend analysis at the starting of the book, which will help you choose the right chapters which you have to focus the maximum attention on and not waste time on the things which are not really that important, which is especially useful if you're a dropper. It's also got the NEET 2021 and 22 paper perfectly solved. There are also solutions for this mock test provided in this book. For testing yourself, I have never recommended anything else more than Oswal on this channel, and I think complete faith in the product, and I'm sure this will really help you make your dreams come true from a NEET aspirant to a doctor one day. So click the first link in the description, check this book out. It is absolutely amazing. Buy it today and start solving as soon as possible. The next experience which you can decide by yourself is whether good or bad is something which I call losing friends. Happens to every person ever. It's a part of our life, like growing up. Personally, in the last 5 years, I've changed like 3 or 4 different circles of people, and particularly this was very difficult during the COVID time. So slowly your everyday calls turn into just occasional calls, and slowly they turn into happy birthday calls, and gradually that also fades, and all that is left in your friendship was the memories that you made once you were friends. Losing friends is a particularly important part of our life. It makes us grow as a person because we eliminate the people who are not compatible with us and grow closer to the people who actually are. And even if you're losing friends, it does not matter, because I'm sure there will be 1 or 2 people people in your college who will be very, very happy to see you every day. Those people will stick you from first year to final year. Luckily, I've got a few people of my own that have shared the last 4.5 years with me through every ups and downs of my life. So of course, it's pretty sad to see people leave, but also acknowledge the fact that it is one of the most important things that you will require to grow in your life. Moving on, the next one is of course the Vivas. The Vivas are, I'm not really a big fan of Vivas, to be very honest. So I'll share a story with you which happened to me when I was posted in third year MBBS in Ophthalmology and I had my post-end examination. So post number 1, so I'm the first person to enter the Viva room. I enter and my Viva lasts for an absolute 55 minutes. Yes, the teacher destroys every answer that I give. Answer half of the questions correctly, half of the answers are made up in my mind, because at that time, whenever you're posted in posting, your information is never complete. At least in my entire postings life, it never was. I was always learning and for some reason before the post-end came, my syllabus was never over. So always there was a stone which was left unturned, there was a question which I had not read, there was an aspect to the disease which I did not know, at least during the post-ends, and that always destroyed my Viva completely. It also happens that the case that you really studied did not actually come to you in the exams, and that is the saddest part ever. That happened to me during the surgery postings. I also made a video about it. But the thing is that after the post-end examination, your eyes open and you start studying, you start understanding stuff much more than you did before. You study for university exams, and guess what? I got a distinction in ophthalmology, a subject which I hated from the core of my heart. Because I just could not understand it. But still I managed to get a distinction, and I also got good marks in my practical and my Viva in the final exam. So yes, there is a learning curve to everything in MBBS, and you have to take even your losses, even your fails in a positive attitude. Turning up the dial once again, let me talk to you about one of the best experience that you get in first MBBS, that is dissection. Dissection is when you take up a cadaver and you open it up, slice it up layer by layer and study all of its contents, all the systems which is present. And the first time that you do it, the first time that you slice up a dead body with your batchmates, with your friends, is an experience which you will remember for a lifetime. It is something which you will never ever forget. It is also the place where you will learn the most. In anatomy, in surgery, all the things are very, very important, and dissection gives you the once and only lifetime opportunity to learn actually from a dead body. So that is the best experience in MBBS for all the students who are entering, who have actually done the dissection. They actually know what I'm talking about. The first time you cut open the mediastinal cavity and take out the lung, the first time you take out the heart, the brain, the liver, it's all really, really fun. It's also a great learning opportunity. Kabhi miss nahi karna hai. It's going to be amazing. Next thing is something which I don't actually have a solution for. That is, if you're a med student, you probably don't have much time to do other things in life. So why am I running this YouTube channel? Why do I have an app? And why do I travel internationally? Thing is that my college is pretty chill, and second of all, I make time for myself. If you're watching this video today, I'm turning 22 tomorrow, and by 22, all my engineering friends have jobs somewhere, and the people who don't have a job are doing their post-graduation somewhere. And these people have to work 9 to 5. They just do whatever the work they can, and they come back home, relax, Saturday, Sunday off. So I look at them and I look at my life, constantly studying, constantly working. It's always a jump between the two. I sometimes feel, yaar, मेरी life भी कितनी sorted होती if I had to just work from one segment to one segment and then just never think about work anytime when I'm home. But sadly, even today and even in the future, life as a doctor is not that simple. You always have to think about your patients first, before your friends, before your family, before your relatives. Your patient comes first. That is what I've learned from my parents, because they've seen a lot of patients. I've seen them go out in their hospitals late at night, come out late. They have left us as children because they had some emergency in the hospital, which is perfectly acceptable. This is not a job where you are playing with machines or playing with technology or coding a software. This is a job where you are dealing with life. So yes, you don't get a lot of time over here. That's a big, huge con. But if you try to optimize everything, you try to build a system around it, you definitely will get enough time to do whatever you choose to do in your MBBS. Just take me as an example and know that you can find the time too. The last point of this entire video is that in your MBBS course, there are a lot of events which happen in your college. There are a lot of parties which are conducted by your friends, by your batchmates, and by the college itself. Between the two exams, there's going to be some free time, and whenever an event perfectly aligns with your exam schedule, it's just amazing. You just stay 24 hours in the college, raat bhar ruk jao, just chill out, just enjoy your life completely. From the morning at like 9 or 10 the events start and they end at late night when everything is just going haywire and everyone is partying. And even if such a big celebration does not happen in your college, that does not stop you from coming to our college to attend it or going to some other college to attend it. I have taken several different trips with my batchmates during this entire phase, and I have gone to a lot of trips on all by myself with my friends as well. There is a lot of party, there's a lot of trips, there is a lot of events which happen in college, but when they all happen, you have to manage your time schedule to fit and study everything in advance so that you can very happily enjoy the event. I said 6 experiences which are good and 4 which were bad. Forgive me for that, but YouTube likes good titles. It's for all my juniors who are entering medical college this year, a huge congratulations. And if you're a NEET aspirant watching this, please don't forget to use the first link in the description. Read this amazing book, it will change your life. To all the amazing viewers of this channel, thank you so much for always clicking on the video when I upload it. It genuinely means a lot to me. Subscribe if you haven't already, smash the like button, and I'll see you next Sunday at 10 AM. Goodbye.